Good day, we are two members of the technical support group of the Matapang Publishing Company. We are here to impart our knowledge to help students enhance their skills and gain new knowledge about trigonometry and share to them the beauty of mathematics. And our first objective is to discuss about angle measure, second is to define angle, third is to convert degree measure to radian measure, and vice versa. And lastly, illustrate angles in standard positions and coterminal angles.
Here are the parts of an angle measure. Angle. In trigonometry, an angle is defined as a union of two rays which share a common endpoint called the vertex. These two rays are considered as the side of the angle, namely the terminal side and the initial side. An angle in standard position has an acute angle with the initial side at the positive x-axis. If an angle is formed by clockwise rotation, its measure is negative. On the other hand, if an angle is formed by counterclockwise rotation, its measure is positive.
There are two units of measurement when it comes to angles, degree and radian. The degree symbol is a circle on the upper right of the number, while radian is only shortened to rad. Converting degree to radian, the equation is n times pi over 180, while converting radian to degree is n times 180 over pi.
Here we have examples of converting degree to radians and vice versa. In our first problem, we are trying to convert 156 degrees to radians. In the previous slide, we already know the equation for converting degree to radians. Let us just substitute the number 156 degrees times pi over 180 is equals to 13 pi over 15 radians. In this problem, we are trying to convert radian to degrees. Now we are trying to convert 5 pi over 6 into degrees. We already know the equation for converting radians to degrees. Now we just have to substitute the number. 5 pi over 6 times 180 over pi is equals to 150 degrees. Here we have a same problem. We are trying to convert 9 pi over 15 into degrees. Let us just substitute the number 9 pi over 15 times 180 over pi. Since 9 and 15 can be both divided by 3, we just have to simplify. 3 pi over 5 times 180 over pi is equals to 108 degrees.
Coterminal angles are angles in standard position where the terminal sides coincide. The equation of coterminal angles in degrees is f sub n is equals to theta plus n times 360. But in radian is f sub n is equals to theta plus n times 2 pi.
Here we have problem-solving examples. In this first problem, we are trying to find the positive and negative coterminal angles of 23 degrees. Now in the previous slide, we already know the equation. We just have to substitute the number. So we have f sub 1 is equals to 23 plus 1 times 360 is equals to 383. Now for the negative side, n is equals to negative 1. Now we just have to substitute the number. 23 plus negative 1 times 360 is equals to f sub negative 1 is equals to negative 337. In this problem, we are trying to find the positive and negative angle of 90 degrees. Now for the positive side, n is equals to positive 1. Now we just have to substitute the number from the equation. 90 plus 1 times 360 is equals to f sub 1 is equals to 450. Now for the negative side, n is equals to negative 1. We just have to substitute the number. 90 plus negative 1 times 360 is equals to f sub negative 1 is equals to negative 270.
Reference angle. The reference angle is the acute angle formed by the terminal side of an angle, theta, and the x-axis. In the first quadrant, theta is equals to the reference angle. In the second quadrant, the reference angle is equals to 180 degrees minus theta. In the third quadrant, the reference angle is equals to theta minus 180. In the fourth quadrant, the reference angle is equals to 360 minus theta.
Here we have examples of reference angle. Since 147 degrees is in the second quadrant, we will be using the second quadrant equation, which is reference angle is equals to 180 degrees minus theta. Substitute the numbers. That would be 180 degrees minus 147 degrees is equals to 33 degrees. In this second example, we first have to convert 3 pi over 5 radians into degrees, which we already did in the previous slide, which is equals to 108 degrees. Now, let us use the second quadrant equation, which is reference angle is equals to 180 degrees minus theta. Substitute the numbers, which is equals to 180 degrees minus 108 is equals to 72 degrees.
In summary, we tackled the definition of angles and angle measures, which included the terminal side, the initial side, and the two rotations. Next, solving for the coterminal angles, which has two equations, which are f sub n equals theta plus n times 360, and f sub n equals theta plus n times 2 pi. And last, we tackled the four equations to find the reference angles.
As we end this session, I hope you were able to understand the things that we discussed and bring with you the knowledge that you gained.
Salamat sa all!